Hello, I'm Digital Soul.
Hey, it's your boy Big Groove, and we are the Purple Brothas. All right, you guys. On this episode, we are taking on Prince's 8th studio LP, and it is called Parade, which was the soundtrack from the movie, Prince's second movie, Under the Cherry Moon. It was to be credited with Prince and the Revolution. It was released worldwide in March 1986, and as the subtitle suggests, its companion piece to Prince's second movie, like I said, Under the Cherry Moon, was released 3 months after the album. So this album for me, man, this is, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's one of the ones that I really dig. I really dig because we're in that era where me and you both kind of like this, you know, the music that was coming from Prince at this time, right? So with the influx of the family and Madhouse and Maserati and all these different people that was affiliated with Prince, he was happened to carve out a very, very, very good record. And Under the Cherry Moon, man, so we're gonna check this joint out.
And Under the Cherry Moon, also directed by Prince. So it was his first directorial debut for him as well for a movie. So that was a first. And unfortunately, it didn't do as well as the record, but nevertheless, people like us, man, we appreciate the film still to this day. It's still hilarious, still classic. There's a lot of one-line phrases in there, you know, a lot of little things, little quirks in there that we still like to this day. So it definitely is a classic, ranked amongst us Prince followers, you know.
Yeah, it was a funny movie to me. It was pretty funny. You could see the goofy side of Prince, you know what I mean, with him and Jerome. You know, it was just, yeah, it was very good. Everybody knows the record store lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many other things that were going on.
Yeah.
You know? So a very good movie, even though it sucked at the box office, but I dig it, man. But he gave us music. Number one, he gave us some bomb music. And without further ado, we're gonna go right into the first track off of Parade, Christopher Tracy's Parade.
Yes, sir, man. This is a good song, man, to open up this album, because with that opening song, for me, you pretty much know where the album is going to go. And the story on this, man, is actually the first 4 tracks on this album were actually played by Prince first with the drums by himself all the way through, and then later he went back and added the instruments. But the first 4 tracks on this LP, man, he actually played the drums all the way through without stopping, as reported by his engineer at the time, Susan Rogers. So that's pretty amazing that he did that from the ground up, especially listening to it now, how everything is separated. Like, how did he hear that in his mind as he was playing those drums? He already had it mapped out as far as what instrumentation was going to go where as he was playing the drums, you know, through the whole sequence. And this first one was actually entitled Little Wendy's Parade initially, when it was first actually done. And I do have a bootleg of that. But it was initially called Little Wendy, right? You didn't hear that here. But yeah, it was initially called Little Wendy's Parade, a little later changed to Christopher Tracy's Parade for the movie. And as you mentioned, it was released 3 months prior or before the actual movie came out. And man, this is just a great little 2-minute song. A lot going on in this song too. You can hear a lot of sound effects and things like that. So it's a busy song, but it's really good.
Very good record. I like how it starts with the drums, and you can hear a scream, and then you can hear the orchestra. You know what I mean? It was well crafted song, man. I really dug it. And
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, since it was only like 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go right into the second track on Parade, and this was another short but sweet record. It's called New Position. Got to try a new position. Yeah, something that'll make
Funky, funky, funky. I still love this song, man. It was so funky that even Biz Markie had to use it.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, what was the song what was Biz Markie's song that he used?
Are you asking me or you want me to tell?
I want you to tell the people.
Oh, okay. This is something to dance to.
There you go.
I think, what was that, 1988 or 89? That was a while back when he did that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't give you the exact date, but yeah, it was around that.
Yeah, I believe more than likely the late 80s. But yeah, it was so funky, Biz Markie decided to use that same bass line for a sample of one of his songs. And just the spareness of the snare drum, how it begins with that large echo and then it takes the echo off and it has the little clicks and then it goes into the little bell. It's a simple song, that bass line, badass song, man.
Badass song. Got
Yeah.
to try a new position just to make it all right.
Right.
He sold me just on that. So I was
right.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, let me do you. Come on, let me do you.
Do you like a good man should, right?
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's a funky, funky record. Even though it was mad short, it was what, 2
minutes,
1 seconds.
I wish that one was a lot longer too. I like to repeat that one a couple of times before I go into the next joint sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has another unreleased version of that song that he recorded in 1982 as well.
Yeah.
And it's gone unreleased. So maybe if they ever do a reissue of Parade, maybe we'll get to hear that track. You never know. Way it's going, we just may. So shout out to New Position. All right. So with that being said, the third track on Prince's Parade, I Wonder You.
How you say, I wonder you, I wonder you.
This one here is a strange song, but I love it. The way he incorporates Wendy into singing the lines with him. Very short, sweet, simple. The arrangement is very, very cool. We got some, mentioning the strings on this is actually the first project where Claire Fisher, who actually was in charge of the orchestration and the strings on this project, Prince actually had him do the whole complete album. I think we actually hear Claire Fisher's first initial involvement with Prince on the end of Purple Rain. Once Purple Rain goes off, you hear this long string sequence,
yes.
Which was the very, very first time. And then we hear him again on Around the World Today on a couple of tracks. But this particular album, which is funny because once Prince got started with this project, he hit Claire Fisher up and he sent them a tape of all the songs and he titled it the Marx Brothers Project. And he sent it to him and he had him send all the songs back. So Claire Fisher definitely gave a whole different vibe to this album with the addition of the strings, almost in every song except Kiss, as far as I remember.
Absolutely. It was a strange record. He actually took his vocals off so Wendy could get to shine on it. But when he mixed it where, some of the music was like overcompensating. And so you couldn't really hear Wendy that much.
Right.
It is what it is, man. It's one of those peculiar records, but a very good record. I like it. I really
I do too.
Yeah. And all right, so we're to the fourth track of this album, and it's called Under the Cherry Moon.
How can I stand to stay where I am? Poor butterfly who don't understand.
Yeah, man, this one's pretty good too, man. I thought that I wouldn't like it when it first started, when I heard it as a kid growing up, man, because it started off so slow. But I liked it even more, even when I saw it in the movie. I heard it in the movie rather. It was a very, very good song. It's a classic, man. I love the first four tracks as mentioned, as he's recorded it all the way through. And every time I hear those first four tracks, man, I think about that. And I'm just in awe every time I hear like the spareness of the drums. I love the way the snare pops on each of those first four tracks. The arrangement is just, man, amazing song, man. I love it.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video when he first did it at First Avenue, 1985. He came out. He had a little keyboard guy brought out, and he
Hmm.
performed it for the first time.
Yeah.
And, I thought like, yeah, this was pretty cool. But when you hear the record, um, yeah, you really get a sense of where he was going. I think the
Hmm.
instrumentation was on point. Um, to me, he played the character. It was like the character of Christopher Tracy
Yeah.
on that particular song. So
Yeah.
um, it really fit, and it really fit with the concept overall. So the first four tracks are really really dope records, man. And with that being said, we're going to the fifth track on this album, this incredible album, and
Uh-oh.
it's Girls and Boys.
Girls and boys.
Eh, 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 eh.
I love you, baby. I love you so much. Maybe we can stay in touch. Meet me in another world, space and joy.
I'll do it for a little while.
Yeah, this was like a funky record for me, man.
Funky, yeah,
I got to have the funk.
yeah. Dude, when I bought this album, I knew this was gonna be a
Yeah,
single before it came out. I knew, yeah, it had to be.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of the funkiest records on
Mhm.
the album. I just love everything about it. I love how the girl is speaking in French,
Yeah, yeah.
toward the end of the record, and it's
Mhm.
just really a dope track. And I have nothing but good vibes and good words to say about this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the same bag with you on that one, man. Just the way it's mixed, man. Like you mentioned, the chick that's talking in French, man. If you just listen to it, I'm just like really amazed at how everything was mixed in the sound because everything kind of like is separated from speaker to speaker.
Mhm.
The finger symbols on the song is really cool, and then Eric Lee's with that baritone sax that he's playing there, just man, just funk all the way around, man. Love it. Yeah.
Love it, love it. All right, so we're going right to the number 6 track, and it's "Life Can Be So Nice."
Oh, life be so nice. It's a wonderful world. Paradise. Kiss me once, kiss me twice.
This is a busy ass song. Very busy. You know what? It's not one of my favorite songs, but you know what? It's not bad enough for me to skip. I always when I play this album, man, I usually just let it run all the way through. But
Mhm.
Life Can Be So Nice, man. I've always liked the song. It's like I said, not my favorite, but it's just a busy ass song. It's a lot going on in this song to me. Just even the sound of the drums. There's a lot of reverb on the drums. I think it's noted in the album. I think Sheila E is playing drums on one side and he's playing the drums on another side or something like that, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've looked at the liner notes, but I remember distinctly. I think Sheila E is involved in this particular song on there. But he has a lot going on in the song, and in the way that it just abruptly cuts off at the end has always bothered me.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I never understood that. I never liked that. I like the song enough to listen to it, but when it gets to the end and it just cuts off, I'm like, I'm left hanging off a cliff or something. It's like, damn, I want more. I want to hear where this is going to go. So I
Right.
feel like maybe the song was going to go somewhere else, but didn't, or maybe they just maybe edited it out, and maybe the song did run on for 10, 20 minutes. With Prince, we never know, man.
Yeah, you never know. It was just crazy how it went off. But I gained more appreciation of this song when I first heard it. I thought, like you said, it was a busy record. It wasn't my favorite, but I grew more of an appreciation when I heard it live.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I heard it
Exactly.
live. Like, okay, now I see where he was
Yep.
going with this.
Yep.
So
I agree.
yeah, so just one of those. Is a busy record. Was it my favorite? No, but to me, it really it really fits,
Yeah,
honestly,
it does. Yeah, I agree.
sequence of the album. So no problems here. Life can be so nice. Wonderful world and paradise. Kiss me
Right.
once, kiss me.
'Cause life could be so nice.
That's right, damn it.
Remember that in 2020, y'all. Life can be so nice.
It can be so nice in November when you vote that month out.
You heard it here first. Purple Brothers have said it.
And you know this, man. All right. So with that abrupt cutoff, it goes right into another record. It's a beautiful record, and it's called Venus de Milo.
Like I said, I agree with the sequence on this LP, man, with the abrupt ending of Life Can Be So Nice, man, and then gently going into Venus de Milo, and then man, I can't say nothing but good about that song. Just it's a beautiful song, man, and much different coming from Prince in 1986. I mean, of course, we were hearing touches of that and things like Condition of the Heart, you know, kind of that acoustic piano, jazz, you know, smooth side of Prince here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But on this record, he really delves into it, you know, on songs like Sometimes It Snows, and then this record per se too. But yeah, Venus de Milo is just amazing. And then hearing him play that, I don't know if you recall in the Love Sexy tour in '88, yeah, he played that a little bit. It was even dope there too. So he playing it on record and live, hands down, man, it's a beautiful record. Great album, great song.
Great song for me. I think it kind of like sets the tone for the second half of the album.
It does.
Life Can Be So Nice, will be so busy, and then it just stops and goes kind of real soft and mellow, and it makes you appreciate Venus de Milo, and it also makes you appreciate the next record, and that's Mountains.
I said someday mountains and the sea. Love will conquer if you just believe.
Oh man. But you know what? Mountains is a badass song, but I almost cannot listen to the album. I have to hear the 12-inch version because the 12-inch version kicks ass, man. From the intro, because on the album, I'm missing that intro that, hey, you, get out on this dance floor. And then it goes into that beat. And then you can tell it's a little different because the snare has a little bit more pop on the 12-inch mix. And on the 12-inch mix, it almost has like a Latin feel later on with the addition of the horns. And there's a marimba going on. It's all kind of stuff going on. It's like the last 6 minutes of the song. This is like jamming. Great song. And the lyrics, man, the lyrics are just really positive. Beautiful song if you really listen to the lyrics. Underneath that funk, man, is a really good positive message on the song. I've always liked this song.
Yeah, produced by Wendy and Lisa, actually. They came up with the music.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was very, very cool. With that being said, we're going to the next one, and it's called, another little slow one, it's called Do You Lie?
When I need someone to talk to, you're not around. You're not around. When I need, I tell her.
Yeah, cool song. What you think about this one?
I think it's cool. The instrumentation of the record, it flows, it coincides with everything else with the sequence of the album.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of it is the bridge, when it comes to the bridge, when he's kind of like talking, you know, and you can hear all the different instruments going on. It's just one of those, you know, short but sweet records that really flowed, and it, you know, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I agree. And much different, again, for Prince at that time. And then also, the song was used quite a bit in the movie, so it kind of lets us know before the movie even comes out what the premise of the movie will be about. Because even in the movie, the young lady, what was the lady's character? I forget her name already.
Mary Sharon?
Mary Sharon, yeah, Mary Sharon. She asked Prince at one point, "Do you lie?" And you know, the music kind of plays here and there. It's different sequences of the film and everything.
Oh yeah.
And, when I was young, she asked Prince that question, and this is when she finds out that he's initially trying to juice her for for the cash or whatever.
Yeah, that was Jerome's doing.
She finds out bad.
Jerome,
Right. Bad on you, Tricky. Bad on you. Tricky.
I thought
well, this right. See what happens when you get a little liquor in your system. You start telling all the business. You know?
Yeah. Where's the wedding? Where's the wedding? It's like, damn it, Tricky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, liquor will do that. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, that was a bad situation that she had to find that out. But used very prominently in the film and all over the place in the film. If you really watch it, you can hear it in the background. He even plays it on the piano when he goes over a homegirl's house. Damn, I'm forgetting the names of the characters.
I know what you're talking about. He kind of
Yeah,
got
when he goes,
piano.
yeah, she goes over to play the voicemail and you know,
Yeah.
Mary, yeah, Mr. Sharon is calling in and leaving a message. He's playing "Do You Lie" on the piano. So yeah, it's all over the place in that movie.
Right.
And when I was younger, it became my mother's favorite song by Prince. So when I hear this song, it reminds me a lot of my mother too, because she actually liked that song a lot. And when it used to come on, when I used to play it, she would always pop in and listen to it with me. So yeah, it's a personal favorite of mine too.
Yeah, it's dope. I dig it. Do You Lie?
Yeah.
The next record on this incredible album, and it's Kiss.
Man.
Funky, originally penned. It was produced by David Z. And originally he was going to give it to the band Maserati. Everybody's familiar with Maserati with the 100 miles an hour. And yeah, I actually heard their rendition of this particular song, and I couldn't stand that. I was like, oh, you know, because there was
very plain.
Yeah, it was just. I'm so happy that when he heard it, he immediately took it back. So that's telling me that their version sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, give it up. I'm gonna put it on my record, and it skyrocketed to #1. It's one of the funkiest Prince records. I remember it was one of those things, you know, when MTV was so prominent back in those days. Whenever you heard that Prince had a new single, a new video coming out, you glued to the TV. And '86, when this came out, I mean, they played it every hour. It was a world premiere every hour on the hour. They were playing. It was sick.
Around this time, I was taking guitar lessons, and the first 2 songs I wanted to learn, I took to my guitar teacher was "Let's Go Crazy," and then the second song was "Walk This Way" by Run DMC. So those are the first 2 songs that I learned how to play on guitar. So my pops is taking me to guitar lessons this particular evening. We get in this car, he turns the key, this song comes on the radio, and it's already like maybe a minute into the song. So I automatically reach for the volume and turn it up because I'm like, this is new. This is, you know, the new shit.
Right.
I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, the spareness of it, the sound of the bass drum, like it has this like moving furniture sound is crazy. Like, and it's just so, it's not much going on in the song, but it's so freaking funky. And so coincidentally, I did talk to David Z last year.
Yeah.
I met him, and he was very, very involved. As you mentioned, man, he was very, very involved in the song as far as the tape given from Prince to Maserati in the studio across the way at Paisley Park when it was built. And they were working on some songs, and they needed one more song. So he shot them the song, just an acoustic guitar and just him singing. Gave it to David Z, Maserati. They did their thing on it. He got the tape back, heard it. He loved it. He loved what David Z and all them did with the song, whatever. He flipped out. And within a day, he had all of his vocals and everything on the tape. He told him he was not giving it back. So when I met David Z last year, I had to ask, how in the world did you get that sound of the drums that sound like it's moving furniture? He never answered my question. He looked at me and he smiled. He did just like this.
I'm telling you.
He would never tell. But I was okay with that because I got the information that I want to read an excerpt from David Z, if you don't mind. And then also, that's a producer and engineer's thing. You know, you never tell your secrets. But I just thought that maybe because a lot of time has passed and it was 2019, that maybe, you know, if I approached him right, he would tell me how he got that sound. For Kiss, there was only 9 tracks used for that song. There was 24 tracks, but we only used 9. The drum pattern was out of a machine called the Lin LM1 drum machine. We had a kick drum on one track and everything else on the other track, snare, tones, and hi-hats. There was only one bass track. The instrument I used was a gated hi-hat through a delay unit to make a rhythm. I put the acoustic guitar through the gate and I triggered it with the hi-hat. So what it does is it slows down the track only when the hi-hat is hitting, and then it shuts the guitar track. Shuts it off when it's not appearing. Prince put a lead guitar on there, which was beautiful, and he sang it. Then while we were mixing it, he said, we don't need bass or piano. So it became this bare bones track. I reached over and I snuck the piano in some places in the end. I don't think we used all 9 tracks for the song. We didn't put any echo or reverb on the song. There was some reverb on the kick. That's where the sound comes from. So it stated here that he did use a little bit of reverb, and that actually filled up the bass spot, so we didn't need any bass anymore. The song was very different from anything else we had done to that point in his career. When he gave the song to Warner Brothers to make it the single, I received a call from the A&R there, and he said, Prince really fucked up. I replied, what? He said, yeah, Prince fucked up. We're not going to release that. It sounds like a demo. There is no bass, no echo, there's nothing, it sucks. I hung up the phone and I was so brokenhearted, I was really down. Luckily enough, Prince had enough pull because of Purple Rain. He told Warner Brothers, you're going to put this out or I'm not giving you another single. So they had to put it out reluctantly. A year later, all they were trying to do was to find songs that sounded exactly like Kiss. It was cool for me to be involved musically with the creation of this particular song. That's from David Z.
Wow. that tells you a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he was like where his head was musically. He knew what he wanted to hear. And then, Warner Brothers, typical, they just want, the status quo. They want what they want. And we're like, oh, so you can't doubt a brother's genius.
Yeah.
And then, hey, and it went, what, 3, 4, 5 times platinum, this album?
The biggest song of '86.
Had the biggest single of 1986.
Along with Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson was pretty big that year too, but Kiss was right up there with the Control album and all their singles.
Oh yeah, but it surpassed Control. I mean, big it up to Control. That was a very good record.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Absolutely. Yeah, but 86 was their year though.
86 was their year, because that, but we have to talk about that another time, because
oh yeah,
them boys, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, was some dope boys, man.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blessing them getting fired from Prince. You know what I mean? Blessing. When he says Kiss, it goes right into the next record.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite record on this album, Another Lover, Holding Your Head.
You need another lover, like you need a hole in your head. Baby, you know there ain't no one.
That's also my favorite too, man. The album, yeah. Long version though too, man. Long version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got the long version. I got the 12-inch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Put your foot on the rock. Let the girl see you.
Yeah.
Put your foot down on the one.
Party and have some fun.
Yeah.
I love her. Yeah, man. It's a funky record. When it first comes on, the chord progressions, whatever instrument that is, when you hear it, I'm not sure what it is, and then you hear him kind of like doing his little riffing underneath it, and then you hear the piano, oh man, and then you hear the funky bass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just killer.
Mm-hmm.
And just like this is what I want to hear. This is something that is going to resonate with me probably the rest of my life. And I was just totally enamored with this album, with this song. I mean, It was just really, really one of those timely records on this album, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree, man. I love the song. I love the short version. I love the long version.
Yeah.
I love the video with the yellow suit. I love it all, man.
Yeah. That whole hit and run. I hope that they're listening. Well, I'm pretty sure they are. But if you're going to put out another album, a legacy album, or whatever you do, you got to put out 1986 Hit and Run Tour in Detroit.
Yeah.
Remaster that whole thing because it's out there. You can see it. Just like we were able to see when Sign of the Times comes out, they're going to do the New Year's Eve concert that was out there floating around. But, you know, that Hit and Run Tour, classic, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's classic Prince. And I think I had you make me a copy of that.
Yeah. I do have that somewhere. Yeah, in that particular video, that was actually his birthday that day. So that was even more special about that video. Yeah.
June 7th. Happy birthday. He was what, 28 years old?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was his birthday concert. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was one of those instances where you didn't see him play the guitar at all. It was just him and the microphone, and everybody else was doing their thing. You know, because he was just like, you know, I hate rock and roll. You know, he even says that at the concert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He just basically he wants the funk because he was just playing all of his funky records back in that time.
I know we haven't got to the last song, man, but it's just a shame that this was Prince's final album and final tour with the Revolution, because we actually see on that particular concert too the addition of the band growing, which was already heated because the original members of the Revolution had already confirmed that they kind of knew that the door was closing because of the addition of the Jerome Bittons and the Wally Saffords and Miko and all those additional players were just slowly coming in at that point. So they saw the writing on the wall, basically. So it's just a shame because I think this album, right at Around the World in a Day, and this album, they were like peaking like big time, and they were just so fucking together.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to see more of that when I saw that album and heard it at that time. I just really wish they could have gotten back together. But nevertheless, man, we got some good music and good memories out of this album, man.
Absolutely, I'm right with you. I totally agree. I think it was Wendy said on an interview, once she started to see the changes in the band with the attendance, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's over. It's over."
Yeah.
And little do you know, it was over with. And the next record, it was just Prince, Revolution No More. But unfortunately.
Yeah. And then the last final concert on this particular tour, he didn't tour out here in California or anything like that in the U.S., but he toured out of state, I believe it was, on this particular last few tours. And they said that they knew because the last final concert of this particular tour, he smashed his guitar and tore it up on the stage and then walked off the stage. And they all knew at that particular night that it was done. It was over with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
You never see Prince beat up a guitar.
Nah.
You may see him throw it, and even when he throws it in the air, there's somebody down on the bottom catching it.
Up, right.
Yeah, but yeah, this particular night, he did a Jimi Hendrix. He beat the shit out of this guitar and walked off.
Yeah, Revolution No More. But big up to Revolution, man.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it that night. That was it. That was the end
Absolutely.
of it. The end of an era.
End of an era. Just like the end of this album. Kind of fitting. It's a very melancholy, sad record. And it's called Sometimes It Snows in April.
Yeah. Yeah. This is for me, a very personal song for me. It's almost to the point now I can't even listen to it at this point. But so fitting for the record to end it that way because it was so much in correlation with the movie and the way it fits with the character and the way he tells the story of Christopher Tracy in this particular song. So it really gives a full outline of the movie months before we even see the movie, how everything is, what's going to happen, how everything pretty much ends for his character in that movie. Right. So it's very, very well written, and the piano playing on that is beautiful. The acoustic guitar, I mean, beautiful music, but it's just a very, like you said, a very somber and melancholy song. And now, years later, especially him passing in April, man, it's just, I had another relative that passed in April, around that time as well, as you and I know. It's just a hard song for me to listen to. I like the song, but it's not nothing I want to run to listen to automatically. But I'm glad that it was made for the premise of the movie and also to end the album the way that it did. It was perfect to fit for that.
Yeah, it's a very somber record, like I said, sad. For him to pass in April, I believe was what, April 21st?
Yeah, April 21st, yeah.
And my mother passed away in April, a day before her birthday. You know what I mean? So all those different things and emotions, I get it, bro. I get it. It's like you said, it's not something I run to as well. I think after Another Love and Hone in Your Head, I honestly don't go to this particular record.
I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of just like leave it because it's just, it's heartfelt, but it's just kind of difficult to listen to and know that somebody that we admired and loved and idolized basically for most of our lives is, to leave us in April.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really sad and just brings up a lot of memories. But but it's about the character Christopher Tracy and what was, his ultimate demise in the movie. They had a couple of different versions of that where he was going to be alive at the end of the film.
Right.
He decided to, kill him
off.
Yeah. He got shot. Sorry. But, it's been 30-some years. You should have saw it already.
Oh, heck yeah. Everybody's seen this movie.
Yeah, so.
He was killed.
Somebody kilted him. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So, maybe these millennials, they ain't seen it. But, but it is what it is.
I always wondered why he said April. Even when I first heard the song, I always wondered why he chose the month of April to describe when it snows. It could have been any month of the year, but he chose April. April's our birth month, which was strange enough. But I always wondered why, because his birthday was in June. There was,
But maybe it just didn't sound right with the other months.
Yeah, that's true. But I've always wondered that why the month April? What was so significant about that month that he would title that song with that particular month? So I was always curious about that, but I guess we'll never know that answer.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, man, our review of Parade 1986, amazing record. Probably in my top 10 of Prince's favorite albums of all time. What do you think about it? We're here. Purple Brothers are here to stay. Please do us a favor. Like and subscribe to our channel. So just keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have not seen Under the Cherry Moon, which I know most of you has, don't sleep. But as Big Rube said, you new millennials, you're missing out. Black and white, number one. So be prepared for that. It's different because in the 80s, there was no black and white movies. Who does a black and white movie in the 80s? Prince. Because he's Prince. He could do that. He directed it. He wrote it. He produced it. He wrote it. He produced it. He wrote it. He did everything on this. He
do whatever he wants to. That's why he put it right.
Yeah, but see this movie, man. Get the 12 inches. Oh, the 12 inches, by the way, has some amazing B-sides. Alexa de Perry on the back of Mountains, and then also Kiss, the B-side, Love or Money, funky as hell. So
yeah.
Those tracks, I know we didn't mention them, but those B-sides, if you ever track down those B-sides, man, definitely get those in addition to the album. Those are some sick tracks, man. And so get the album, get the 12 inches, watch the movie. It's a great era, one of my favorite movies and favorite albums. Big Rube agrees. We hope y'all will agree too. Just stay tuned for more. We're coming at you.
Yeah, we're coming at you. And to the estate, if you put it out once again as a reissue, hook us up with some concert footage. 1986 Hit and Run in Detroit on his birthday. Can you do that for us, please?
Yeah, but don't make it like 13 discs, because brothers can't afford 13 discs nowadays. We in quarantine. We ain't working.
Man, but that's another story. that's another story.
Give us something affordable.
Well,
I want a $10 disc.
You ain't getting no $10 disc with this next one. Times you can forget.
Right.
You got 63 unreleased songs that 63, bro.
Right, right. And a lot of shit we probably already have anyway, right?
Well, not necessarily, because I would get it just for Rebirth of the Flesh. You know, we never had the
Absolutely.
whole entire thing. And then Wally's on that, but that's another, we're going to talk about that later.
Oh, Wally. Yeah, I forgot about
Wally's
that one.
on there.
Yeah, man.
Yes, yeah, you know, so it's a lot of it's a good story behind that particular song as well. But you know, we're talking about Parade, so thank you in advance. Come on back, see us next video. Until then, Purple Brothers, baby.
Peace out. Thank y'all. See you soon.